to trade the Forex market for you and get a good ROI on your capital without fear of abscondment or unauthorized withdrawals from your trader or money manager? For a market that trades around $5 trillion daily in volume, it stands to reason that there are traders profiting from Forex. Otherwise, the Forex market would have become unpopular and faded out. Forex Briefcase proprietary trading strategy and risk management techniques have been proven to be profitable over a data set of 5,000 plus real trades, not backtest results. You may be thinking, how do I hire a trader without the risk of trader or money management abscondment, running away with your money? Traditionally, investors transfer a sum of money to the trader's personal account to allow the trader to trade for them. This setup is unregulated and non-transparent, and it's easy for the trader to run away. With our Forex Briefcase MAM multi-account manager setup, investors deposit their funds with a regulated brokerage that adheres to strict rules such that only the rightful owner of the account can withdraw from the account. This means that Forex Briefcase merely trades for you through a contractual agreement. Forex Briefcase does not have the rights to make any withdrawals. Now you can earn a passive income having Forex Briefcase trade for you while you enjoy the flexibility and security of holding the funds under your own name. Contact us to find out more.
Ready? You got me running, you got me running, got me running. Shake it, shake it, shake it, say that. Raise your hands up, raise them up.
All right, indeed. Happy hump day to everyone, and also nearly hump day to the people across the world that are watching as well. Welcome. It is Wednesday here, Singapore time, 11 a.m., and it is time to get into the daily currency call. Thank you again for joining us. It is episode 405, and it's the 27th of October. So just a quick introduction as well. If you are new to the show, this is the currency call where we will present Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 8. And the currencies we analyze are as follows. So on Monday, we do the Aussie and Kiwi. Tuesdays, we do the Euro. Today, Wednesday, we're doing the pound pairs. Thursday, yen and gold. And on Friday, we do the CAD and also crypto. So the currency call is a place where you'll get the market economic updates, the key support and resistance levels, trade ideas, and much more. This currency call is going to be very beneficial to both the long-term investors and the short-term traders. And here we'll be going through what could move prices, possible trade ideas, and we'll also highlight the potential targets and risks associated with the trade ideas as well. Finally, a disclaimer. Any information shared during this session is not intended to be a trade recommendation. It is solely the opinion and views of the speaker. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trades that are mentioned in the currency call. All right, so just to kick us off now today, we do have quite a lot going on with central banks. We've got the ECB and also the Bank of Japan out with their interest rate decisions tomorrow. And we've got Gim Hong, currency strategist, and he'll be discussing the upcoming events. So over to you now, Gim Hong, and what are everyone?
Before we get to Gim Hong, come on, Scott, let's try it again.
What All right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Okay. Yep. the Bank of Japan will be announcing their monetary policy meeting during our currency call tomorrow. All right. Why did I say during? Is because, most of the time, all the time, the schedule is not being given. Okay. And when they actually announce whatever they've done or they have not done, okay, during the meeting, it's usually, it usually clashes with our currency call. So yeah, but anyway, all right, what to expect from the BOJ, all right? Previously, okay, the central bank actually revised their inflation upwards, okay, because of as you know, inflation across the globe has been rising, okay, due to oil prices, due to base effects, due to, several other things, right? Supply constraints, etc. So this time around, okay, current meeting, I'll pretty much say the same thing as what I said during the previous meeting, okay? Expect no change in monetary policy, all right? Interest rate is going to be held unchanged at negative 0.1%, all right? QE, yeah, it will just remain unchanged, okay? The difference between this time round and actually, the previous time was September. Okay, so previous month or previous meeting, they actually released the quarterly outlook report, and 3 months later, right now, okay, they're going to be releasing a new updated version of the report. Okay, specifically, like what they expect, the economic projections, what they expect is going to happen in the near future. All right, this time around, unlikely that they're going to revise the inflation projections upwards any further. Okay, so previously they actually revised upwards. This time around, personally, I'm not going to expect any upwards revision, right? Because based on the recent inflation data, okay, released, annual inflation in Japan is still less than 1%. All right, so that is the main reason why we will not be seeing or hearing any changes in terms of monetary policy from the Bank of Japan, all right, because they actually target a 2%, all right, inflation for Japan on an annual basis, okay. But if you look at the previous data, past data for the past few years, okay, they barely come close to 1%, all right. So yeah, expect no change from the Bank of Japan. So if you guys are trading, all right, this is what I feel, right? Unlikely this meeting is going to move the yen, okay? So just pay attention to other ongoing events going on, like Evergrande or, oil and things like that. Okay, if you are trading, say, for example, pound yen, just focus on pound. If you are trading on euro, just focus on euro and so on and so forth, all right? So that's it for the BOJ, okay? So moving on to something more interesting, but not much, I would say, all right, is the European Central Bank. Okay, we'll be hearing from them, okay, tomorrow at 19:45 GMT plus 8, all right? So during the previous meeting, they actually reduced the pace at which assets are being purchased under the PEPP, okay, the Pandemic Emergency Purchase Program, all right? And initially, okay, the thought is that this is actually considered a tapering, all right? But Christine Lagarde, the president of ECB, came out during the press conference saying that it's not considered tapering. It's just a recalibration of monetary policy. Okay, so, whatever it means, whatever she wants to put it, it's okay. It's something along the line of tapering, okay? But that comment by her kind of like, actually, if you guys were actually trading the previous ECB meeting, all right, you guys would have realized that, euro, specifically euro dollar, went up and down and up and down and up and down, okay, because of all these confusing terms and jargons, messages being sent across by the president herself, all right? So during the last meeting, the ECB, okay, they actually released their projection materials as well, the quarterly projection materials, okay? And they actually revised their inflation outlook upwards, all right, for 2021, 2022, and 2023. Yeah, which is actually a good thing, to be honest, all right? Because, with this strong rise in inflation going on across the world, and don't forget that, recently, I think just a few months back, the ECB actually made a change in made an amendment to their whole inflation policy, okay? So they are no longer targeting they are no longer having an inflation target that is close to but not above, close to but below 2%, all right, which is a bit ambiguous previously, all right. So right now they are targeting at 2%, allowing inflation to overshoot or undershoot the 2% target for a short period of time, all right, it's okay. But extended period of time of overshooting or undershooting of inflation may actually cause of concern, all right, by the ECB, okay. So that's what they did previously. Now, this time around, okay, it's likely that the ECB meeting is going to be uneventful, all right. It's likely going to be nothing much, all right. So they are going to hold interest rate unchanged, okay, at 0%, all right. No change in monetary policy, specifically to quantitative easing, okay. APP, the Assets Purchase Program, and the PEPP, Pandemic Emergency Purchase Programs, they are still going to be run at the current pace, at unchanged, remain unchanged, basically, okay. Remember that during the previous meeting, Lagarde was actually mentioning that she actually mentioned that the PEPP program that will be ending in March 2022, okay, any actions beyond March 2022 will be discussed in the next meeting in December, okay. So this time around, they may actually talk about it, but unlikely we are going to hear about, what's going to happen to PEPP past March 2022, all right. Yeah, so QE is going to remain unchanged. So this meeting, personally, if you ask me, this is going to be like a discussion among ECB kind of meeting, okay, specifically on the ongoing rise in inflation, okay. So the most recent inflation data being released for the Eurozone, okay, is actually 3.4% on an annual basis, which is very high. Once again, I think previous month it was 3.2%, okay, and this month, the release data was 3.4%, once again, overshooting the central bank's target of 2%, all right. So policy statement wise, we are probably going to we're probably going to be seeing the same thing, okay. Press conference wise, okay, that's where volatility can be expected, right? My take is that Lagarde may actually just reiterate that inflation is transitory, right? The reporters, while attending the press conference, may actually ask Lagarde on, whether there's any discussion going on among the ECB members, okay, regarding the PEPP program after March 2022, which personally I feel that Lagarde is going to be tight-lipped, okay. She's not going to say much about it, She's probably just going to tell the reporters that discussion on the PEPP program post March 2022 will be taking place in December, during the December's meeting. That's it. She's probably going to say that. All right. But nonetheless, we cannot rule out any, potential things that may happen, right? So similarly, okay, the two things to pay attention to is the first one being the inflation. Okay. Now, any change in tone that inflation is transitory, okay, will likely lead to a strengthening in the euro. Okay, so this is something that we have to pay attention to. Although, yeah, like I've said, unlikely the guy is going to say that right now. Okay, remember that Jerome Powell, okay, the central bank chief for the Federal Reserve, changed his tone on inflation last Friday during a speech. And look at what happened to the dollar, right? It actually strengthened the dollar. So if you guys want action, this time around, just pray that Lagarde was, have a change in tone of, inflation being transitory. Okay, so that's the first thing to pay attention to. Second thing, as you guys know, PEPP. Any plans on PEPP after March 2022? Personally, unlikely that they're going to say anything. Okay, but in case they're going to share some new plans, okay, or give the audience a peek into the plan that the central bank has on PEPP. Maybe, for example, don't quote me, they may actually come up with something new, okay, a third quantitative easing program, just to replace the second one, which is the PEPP, and, just to have more flexibility in terms of the types of bonds that can be bought through the PEPP program, all right, things like that. If, Lagarde were to actually shed some light into any potential changes in PEPP or any discussions being made, okay, among the committee members, then we may actually be seeing movements in the euro, okay. But either way, whether or not she's going to share anything or share nothing at all, personally, I don't encourage you guys to trade the ECB meeting this time around. Okay, if nothing is being shared, turns out to be uneventful, you're not going to see euro moving. You're going to have your trade being, you're going to have your trades entered and being stuck there with no clear direction. All right. If they are going to, if the European Central Bank is going to share some light into inflation being transitory or not transitory, or any plans on PPP after March 2022, it may take a while for whatever's being sent across, the message being sent across, to be digested. Okay, so is it going to be hawkish? Is it going to be dovish? Now that is something that is personally, if you ask me, okay, even an experienced market follower will have problem interpreting. Okay, just look at the previous meeting, when Lagarde claims that the slowing down of the pace of PPP is not a tapering, it's just a recalibration. Okay, so just looking at a chart going up and down, up and down, up and down, it tells you that there's no clear direction, right? No one knows for sure if this message, if the message being sent is considered hawkish or dovish. So, to prevent unnecessary loss and, getting your trade stuck in a position that, you can't close, it's better if you just don't trade it, all right? So with that, I will update you guys again on, tomorrow is Thursday, probably on Friday, okay, on what goes down on the BOJ and the ECB, all right? And just a reminder that the Bank of Canada will actually be announcing their monetary policy decision tonight, later on at 2200, and the press conference will be held at 3300 GMT plus 8. So yeah, expect volatility, all right? BOC is probably the more, I would say, happening one among the three monetary policy meeting, okay? Because a tapering, like I mentioned, is expected, all right? So if you guys want to know what to look out for the Bank of Canada's meeting later on today, just check out the YouTube video that we uploaded yesterday, okay? And just prepare yourself for the Bank of Canada, all right? With that, I'll hand it back to Scott.
Well, actually, if you're looking to trade the BOC rate decision and news event, we do have our live trading happening tonight. So Traders Club members, make sure you join the live trading session happening tonight. And if you're not already a club member, the link has just gone up. Make sure you join as a club member. You get to join the live trading session tonight. With that, as I jumped in, Gim Hong, for the ECB news, you said that it might go up, it might go down, they might talk about it, they might not talk about it. I think everyone wants to know, do you have a pending buy or do you have a pending sell?
I'm staying out. I'm sorry, I'm staying out.
I know that you have a pending buy or a pending sell. Which one do you have?
Let me take a look.
If you have to put an order in, you have to put a pending order in. Is it going to be buy or sell?
No, I do not have any pending orders.
If you have to, come on.
Oh, if I have to, okay. If I have to, okay. Give me a moment.
It cannot be a straddle.
I wanted to say a straddle, to be honest.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
It be a buy or sell. What do you think?
Oh my goodness, you're really putting me on the spot.
I am.
I don't want to send a wrong tone. ECB.
This is Gim Hong's view. It's not a market view. It's not a recommendation. It is only
exactly, Andrew. Exactly. That's like putting a gun to GH head.
Come on.
Okay. I'm just going to, you know what? Instead of just throwing some answers.
Pending buy or pending sell? That's all I want to know.
No. You know what? Just to benefit the audience who join us for Currency Call today, I'm just going to run through my thought, my thought process.
No.
When it comes to answering this question.
You went through your thought process already. I just want to know, pending buy or pending sell?
Yes, I run through the thought process for Euro, and since Euro is uncertain, all right, so what I'm going to do is, personally, I have Euro dollar in mind, okay? And then looking at the US dollar, it has been strengthening recently, right? So if I cannot make any decision on whether Euro is going to be bullish or bearish, then I'm going to move on to the second currency, the counter currency, which is the US dollar, all right? So US dollar has been strengthening recently, right? So if you ask me, if I have to choose a direction for Euro dollar, then I'm going to pick a sell for the Euro dollar. So likely that I'm going to, put a pending order for Euro dollar if I have to make a trade on Euro dollar, right? Of course, that is, apart from looking at all the levels, support, resistance, and things like that. All right. So if you guys really have to trade the euro dollar, like what Gene is doing, pointing a gun to my head, and someone pointing a gun at your head and things like that, trade euro dollar, personally, I would say, yeah, look for selling opportunities of euro dollar.
Pending sell coming from Gim Hong. That's all we need to know. All right. With that, pass it back to Scott.
You heard it first, everyone. That is the call. So anyway, but again, be cautious. And I've shared the link for the live call as well, guys. So feel free to share it around. If you've got someone that is showing some interest in trading as well and wants to learn a little bit more, I would strongly encourage it. We've had a revamp of the EcoFin chat as well. And there was already some pips to be made on the Aussie dollar as well. And that was capitalized by the Forex briefcase managed account too. So now what I'll do now, let's jump into the US dollar index here. Thanks to Sam Trade. I just had the Aussie dollar up there as well, just to see what it was doing. And we have seen, it's been interesting with the US dollar. We nearly saw it get back to 94 flat. And we actually saw, and we're seeing now a small pullback in price. And from a news perspective, today is not particularly that high impact. I like to just bring up the chart just to sort of show where we're at. We're still more the bottom of the range. We did obviously get as low as the 93.40s or even below that as well. But we are seeing that a point of interest is to look at, the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. They were quite flat last night. So we're seeing, some people are just pausing with buying right now. And it's always interesting to see how the US dollar responds. And additionally, I'll just bring up the calendar now, thanks to Forex Trading Asia. And for last night, so we're Wednesday right now, we did have some pretty good news, some favorable news for the new home sales, and also for consumer confidence, just from a household perspective that exceeded expectations, and also from previous month as well, and beat the expectations by quite a little bit. And then another point to reference would be the new home sales from a month-on-month perspective, and that was up 14% for September on negative 1.4%. But frankly, what we were seeing is that it was a little bit of a risk-off move, but it's a bit challenging because, you've got to focus as well. If you're trading a currency pair, for example, when the inflation data came out this morning on the Aussie, you could see that it was holding up. So you've also got to be keep that in mind if you are trading that, and one pair might be slightly stronger. But then if that's the case, and if you are trading it, you want to be sort of actively managing it as well. So you have to sort of understand the background behind what's moving it and the time of when a news release is coming out as well. And as you can see, we saw that. Now for later today, for Wednesday, for the US dollar, we've got really, the core durable goods is out, but we've mentioned this before, and we've got other central banks of importance, especially with the Bank of Canada as well later this evening. And again, we've got that live trading call out as well. And we do have the GDP out tomorrow night. So I think really the main focus, if you've not really got into anything yet, that's fine. Just wait for tonight, really. And the US dollar seems to be coming back this morning in the Asian session. But we are also seeing, from an equity standpoint, we do have the equity chat as well. If anyone's interested in that, please just put a chart up, and we'll address any questions. But it's been a bit strange because we've had inflation pretty much in line, even slightly down. And Jin mentioned that on Monday, and did discuss the trading opportunity there. And then we do have the Aussie section for the chat. So some opportunities to get in there. But from the US dollar perspective, it's pretty flat. We've seen a bit of a significant move in the 4-hour time frame as well. So I would say just sit back and just wait until we actually get some more substance. Really, the GDP number is going to be quite interesting. But if the US dollar doesn't have much news tonight and the Canada release is good, then that can offer some opportunities. But those are my thoughts there for the US dollar index. Now, we do have the pound coming up with Jin, and not as exciting and as Gim had to go through all the central bank stuff, but obviously opportunities to be had, guys. So I'll hand the mic over to you now, Jin.
Thanks, Scott. And for this segment, I'll accept no questions from Gim Hong, just in case he puts me on the spot later on. Well, so today is Wednesday. We are looking at the pound dollar. I will also do a revisit of the euro pound after that. Looking at the news here on forextradingasia.com, looking at the economic calendar, Wednesday today, we did have, as Scott was telling you already, we did have the Aussie CPI numbers released early this morning. One thing I want to quickly show you is that we are looking at analysis on the pound dollar, but what you should also quickly notice is that today, no pound news, right? No news coming from the UK. On Thursday, we have a lot of Eurozone data, and Gim Hong told you about that already, but you notice no pound news as well. And then on Friday as well, we do have Eurozone numbers. We have two numbers from the UK, but these are not big price movers. And then after that, not much else, more from the Eurozone. That's why we had a lot of focus on the euro dollar yesterday and also today about the ECB press conference and rates decision. The main thing that could be moving the pound dollar in this case will be the US GDP number to be released on Thursday evening at 8:30 GMT plus 8. It was 6.7%. It's expected to be a 2.7%. This is quarter on quarter. Anticipation is that we might see that probably even a 2.5% there. So I would actually contradict Gim Hong a little bit and say that, might not even see the dollar strengthening, continue to strengthen across the board. We might actually see some weakening on the dollar, especially if the GDP number comes out not as good as we anticipated, right? So with that, not a lot of news to move the pound dollar. So what that could mean in terms of looking at the charts here, pound dollar on the H4 time frame, if you were to put a gun to my head, please don't do that. But if you were to put a gun to my head without the news events, with the possible weakening in the dollar, looking at the dollar index here, we are seeing it turn back down a little bit. I'm looking to see whether it will test 93.56 again. We've seen it do that over the last week and this week. So I think that it might come back down again. With that possible weakening, I think that we could see the pound dollar test higher. It's failed so far to break below 1.3747. Late last week, early this week, right now looks like it's bouncing off. So I would say that possibly could be looking for that upward move, probably across throughout the week, slowly grinding upwards. You could be looking for buying opportunities above 1.3780, 40 pip stop loss for a good 80 pip take profit level towards the upside, towards that 1.3870. So you're looking at a 1:2 risk reward ratio towards the upside, but not ready right now. I would say above 1.3780 would be a safe level to start considering it. What I mean by above that level means it needs to go to 1.3780 and above and close. That candle needs to close out above that point before you'll be looking for that buying opportunity there. So, I highlight the points about, candle closing. I highlight the points about even putting Gim Hong on the spot of, when to close out, when to enter a trade, what's a pending trade idea or pending trade order there. What a lot of retail traders experience is that they make small profits and then have big losses. They make small profits, they have big losses. And then over time, they actually see their accounts dwindling down, despite a lot of trading activity. And they actually realize that, or eventually realize that, hey, wait, this does not make sense. They're not actually making money, making a couple of pips here and there, but losing double-digit trades. So how you actually try and reverse that, or how you can actually try and address that issue? One, look for that review, right? The reason why a lot of people lose big and win small is because they don't review their trades. They don't get a third party to look through their trades or ask for advice. They don't have confidence about the methods they're using, right? There's no confidence in it. So whenever you enter a trade, you see some profits, you go, oh, I'm not confident, I'm going to close up my trade. Or whenever they see a loss, they're going to go, I'm hoping that it will turn back up, and then they hold on for the big loss, and then they close up with a big loss. So it's all about confidence, it's all about review, it's all about understanding the trade methods, and then also about not testing out too many different methods. A lot of times people start looking at all kinds of different tools and indicators and price actions and all kinds of other things to try and identify trades. With testing too many things, you lose that confidence in your method as well. So that's a very common issue that most people go through: over-analysis, overthinking. So when you're trading, you're actually trading what you see rather than trading what you think. So address that issue. If you need help, get onto the Traders Club, and we're all there to help you with that. That short interruption. Now back to the euro pound. As we look at the pound dollar possibly heading towards the upside, possibly heading towards the 1.3870, what that could mean on the euro pound is that, as I was sharing with you, I am looking for it to break below 84.19 to get to that 83.16 level. If the pound dollar does push higher, that could push the euro pound down. So I'm still looking at this as a valid potential trade idea for it to break below that point. But as I was telling you yesterday already, this is a multi-year low point. So we're going to see it test and reject it several times before we see it break lower. And even if it does break lower, we're going to see a lot of volatility towards that downside. Several drivers that could push it lower: pound dollar moving higher, and also looking at the euro dollar, talking about it yesterday, anticipating that the ECB might actually be pushing the euro dollar down, resisting that 1.16 level. So I think that this still could happen. Might take a little bit longer, might see a lot more volatility, but that's possibly a very good trade that you could be looking towards, a good 80 pips towards the downside there. So 80 pips on the pound dollar, 80 pips on the euro pound. We do have a lot of trade opportunities for this week. If you have any questions, Traders Club members, make sure you jump onto the live trading session tonight at 8 o'clock GMT +8. We might do a slightly longer session all the way to the Bank of Canada rates decision being released at 10 o'clock. With that, I'll pass it back to you, Scott.
Thanks for that, Jen. And again, guys, I've just shared the link for the Traders Club as well. If you click that link, fill in your details. We are offering a 1-month free trial as well of the club, which is plenty of time to get a real good insight into what is going on with the trade ideas, with the trade management that's discussed as well. And I'll also share the link to the Forex briefcase site as well. So this is where you can actually have your Forex account managed and actually traded for you by professionals. The track record is available on the website. We've just ticked over 102% in 3 years as well. Very small drawdown, and something that is just really essential just to have covered. You've got an aggressive account, got a conservative account, and it all just adds up. But that is the episode, guys. Thanks again for joining us. Hope to see everyone tonight as well. And thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.